From what I'm told, we spoke. My team has spoke to his team, and before the end of the year, I think we're gonna make it happen.
Ooh.
Floyd Mayweather has called out Terence Crawford during a live interview.
And the world said he was inexperienced. I was 36 with 40-something fights. And to tell you the truth, I was over the hill.
The retired boxing legend is now challenging Terence "Bud" Crawford to a professional boxing match. Mayweather has been spreading rumors that Bud backed out of a potential fight with Canelo because of the weight class difference. Crawford is using this as an excuse to avoid the fight. He claims Bud isn't confident enough to go against the powerful Mexican fighter. But Mayweather isn't buying the weight excuse anymore. Instead of facing Canelo, Mayweather is offering himself as an opponent for Crawford. Bud might seem to have the upper hand since he's younger and has a strong, athletic body that many admire. But Mayweather isn't worried about that. When it comes to boxing, it's not just about being young or having big muscles. Real fight is won with clever moves, smart strategies, and years of experience. That's where he thinks he has the edge over Bud. While Crawford may be in his prime, Mayweather has confidence in his skills and knowledge of the sport. He's sure that once they step into the ring, it will be a test of minds, just as much as bodies. And how did Bud respond? Well, he's not a fighter for nothing.
We're gonna have a fish fry come Saturday. Man, you gotta calm down, brother. Cause listen, man, things can get real sticky real quick, and then everybody would say, this is what we do every time we come out.
Bud quickly shut down the rumor that the retired boxer was spreading about him being afraid of Canelo Alvarez. He made it clear that if he were really scared, he wouldn't have called Canelo out on live television. Calling out a fighter like Canelo takes confidence. His challenge alone shows how much he trusts his own skills. Stepping up and making such a bold statement means he has the ability to prove himself in the ring. Actions speak louder than words. He's not one to back down from a fight, and standing up to Canelo in front of the world says it all.
Social media, my ass. Bro, listen, just like you talking, just like you doing all that talking, bro, it can turn deadly real quick.
To show Mayweather he's wrong and that he's not afraid of Canelo, Bud recently posted a video of himself training. Bud didn't stop there. Along with his training video, he also shared a clip of himself fishing at a lake. In the video, he proudly claimed that he had caught the biggest fish in Texas. It seemed like a simple fishing trip, but fans quickly noticed the deeper meaning behind his words. The comment about catching the biggest fish wasn't just about fishing, but a warning. Bud boldly declared that he knows who the #1 fisherman is. It was a playful yet powerful way to say he's at the top of his game.
Listen, I told my boy Jazz, I already caught the biggest fish in Texas. About to get out here and get it in. Y'all see the water. I know who the #1 fisherman is. Even big fish get caught.
This is clearly a jab at the Mexican fighter, who has been noticeably passive, especially when asked about his response to Bud calling him out.
Tonight, Terence Crawford was with Turkey Al-Sheikh at the other event across town. Put out an open challenge to you on the internet with Turkey Al-Sheikh calling you out. What's your response to Terence Crawford's call out tonight?
No comment.
Everybody calling me out and everything, and like I say, I have nothing to win with Crawford. 2-3 ways plus.
Canelo has made it clear that he has no problem facing Crawford, but only if he doesn't have to drop down in weight. If Bud really wants to step into the ring with Canelo, he'll need to move up in weight instead. Canelo isn't interested in making any adjustments for the fight. Of course, Bud agreed to the terms, showing that he's willing to meet Canelo on his turf. This bold move proved that Bud is serious about making this fight happen, no matter the risks. The latest update is that Crawford's agreement has likely sealed the deal. Not only did he get the match he wanted, but he also seems to have secured a massive payday in the process. According to Ring Magazine, Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford have agreed to face each other on September 13th at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. Fans are already excited to see these two champions battle it out in one of the biggest fights of the year. The fight will take place at 168 pounds, with Canelo's super middleweight titles on the line. Crawford will have to move up in weight to challenge the Mexican star. It's a tough challenge, but one that Bud is willing to take on to prove himself against one of the best. Since teaming up with Saudi power broker Turki Al-Sheikh, Crawford has made his intentions clear. He wanted a shot at Canelo, and now he's got it. This super fight will be a major test for both fighters and a huge moment in boxing history. After saying he wanted this fight for more than a year, it looks like Canelo's finally ready to make it happen. This could be one of the biggest paydays in boxing history. Before the September fight, Canelo, who is 34 years old, is likely to stick to his usual schedule and fight in May. The top choice for his May opponent is William Skull. Skull recently won a unanimous decision against Vladimir Shishkin, making him the IBF super middleweight champion. This victory has put him in line for a big match against Canelo. If Canelo takes on Skull and wins, he will reclaim the title of undisputed super middleweight champion. That would add even more excitement to his September showdown with Crawford. Crawford, the reigning WBA junior middleweight champion at 154 pounds, and as mentioned, will be moving up 2 weight classes to face a fellow all-time great in one of the biggest boxing matches of the past decade. This matchup has already become one of the most talked about events since the rumors started. Fans everywhere are buzzing with their predictions, debating who will come out on top when these two legends face off. Edgar Berlanga believes that Bud will come out on top. Even though Bud doesn't have the same size and power as Canelo, Berlanga thinks anything can happen in boxing. Upsets are always possible, and Bud has the skills to pull it off. However, Berlanga knows that the biggest challenge for Bud will be Canelo's sheer strength and size. The Mexican fighter is naturally bigger and stronger, which could give him a big advantage in the ring. But Berlanga also believes that if Bud can figure out a way to use Canelo's size against him, he has a real shot at winning. With the right strategy, Bud could prove that size doesn't always determine the outcome of a fight.
And that he's more bigger. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing. But as far as skill set wise, IQ, I feel like Crawford can match anybody and probably do way better. You know what I'm saying? But you know, Crawford is a legend, bro.
Yeah.
With Crawford caught up in his recent feud with Mayweather, how will he manage to face Canelo Alvarez this September? Could he actually take on Mayweather before stepping into the ring with Canelo? What do you think? Please let me know in the comments below.